Welcome to Zadar, Croatia, known as a historic destination on the Dalmatian coast with many Roman and medieval remains. Now this video provides 10 reasons why people love Zadar. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Zadar, Croatia, population around 70,000. Now just for context, we have a map here. We have circled Zadar. Zadar is 3 hours from Zagreb and 4 hours from Dubrovnik. Now this video will provide 10 reasons why people love Zadar. People love Zadar because of the sea organ and greeting to the sun. Believe it or not, the number one reason to visit Zadar these days is not to get lost in the past, but to focus on the present. For Zadar, these are the remarkable and often peculiar art installations that can be found throughout the city. Zadar's famous sea organ is the number one attraction in the city. Installed on the seafront in 2005, it's a must-see. It's called the sea organ because as the waves crash against the cascading steps, they hit a series of underwater tubes. Each tube creates a different tone, and together it makes a surreal soundtrack to the experience. Another art piece to view in Zadar is the Greeting to the Sun, a circular installation of 300 multi-layered glass plates and solar cells that come nightfall light up. Much more than works of public art, these two spots are incredibly popular with tourists and locals to come and hang out. People love Zadar because of the city walls and gates. You cannot get into Zadar's old city without crossing the old city walls through one of its 4 magnificent city gates. The oldest section of the wall was built by the Romans and is near the footbridge along the eastern wall. But the most impressive gate to the city is the Land Gate, which was once the main entrance to the city. The gate sits next to the tiny Focia harbor and dates back to the 16th century. Tip: you'll find a parking lot in front of the small marina which gives perfect access to the Land Gate. People love Zadar because of the Church of St Nasus. For many, the Church of St Nasus is the most impressive site in Zadar. It's beautifully preserved and one of the most important examples of Byzantine architecture found in this part of Croatia. The church dates back to the 9th century and is famous for its circular form. What's great about this church is that it sits within the old Roman Forum, so you can see the change of empires from Roman to Byzantine right before your eyes. It's simply fascinating. This part of the city has many of Zadar's other top attractions, so you don't need to go very far to hit them all in one swoop. People love Zadar because of the Zadar Cathedral. The Zadar Cathedral is directly behind the Church of St Nasus. The Zadar Cathedral is also known as the Cathedral of St Anastasia, and it blends a number of architectural periods into its fabric. Construction initially began with the Byzantines back in the 9th century, but it was rebuilt again in the 12th and 13th century in Romanesque style. Of particular interest is the cathedral's fine facade with its 3 entrances and numerous blind arches, as well as 2 beautiful rose windows. The top one is the Gothic style, while the lower 2 are Romanesque. Interior highlights include the 9th century remains of St Anastasia, the stone altars, and the impressive wood-carved choir. Be sure to check out the lovely bell tower dating back to the 15th century, with the upper levels being completed in the late 19th century. If you want some really awesome views of the city, arrange to climb the bell tower. People love Zadar because of the Zadar Archaeological Museum. The second oldest museum in Croatia, the Zadar Archaeological Museum, was founded in 1832 and is dedicated to the city's rich history. It's a good place to gather an overview of the influences that shaped this part of Dalmatia. Highlights include the numerous ground floor displays devoted to finds from the 17th to 12th century, a notable glass collection, as well as many displays on the first floor related to northern Dalmatia during the Roman period. Particularly interesting is the model of Zadar showing the city's Roman layout. The oldest periods of history are displayed on the second floor, which houses collections related to the Paleolithic, Neolithic, Copper, Bronze, and Iron Ages, including weapons, jewelry, pottery, and other artifacts. People love Zadar because of Kolovare Beach. About a 10-minute, very scenic walk from the old town, Kolovare Beach is the main city beach, a mix of sand and pebbles backed by clear blue water. In summer, the beach can get crowded, but if it's too hot, you can retreat to a shaded green area just above the beach, which offers respite and is popular for picnics. There's also showers, change rooms, and toilets at the beach. Nearby, you'll also find shops and restaurants. If you want to swim with fewer people, just keep heading east from Kolovare towards the headland. People love Zadar because of Kornati National Park. The park just off the coast of Zadar is made up of 147 islands in the Zadar Archipelago and is easy to visit on a day trip. Established in 1980 to protect marine life and preserve natural habitats, these mostly uninhabited islands include Kornati Island, the largest at 25 meters long and 2.5 kilometers wide. Rugged and riddled with caves, cracks, and cliffs, these once lush islands used to be home to many Roman villas and farms, but a lack of fresh water and exploitation under Venetian rule left them desolate. Some of the islands still have Roman remains, including the ruins of Roman villas and walls right down to the shoreline into the water, thought to have been a holding tank for fresh fish. These days, the park is popular with yachters, scuba divers, and sightseers on tour boats or private charters, all drawn by the park's unique beauty. People love Zadar because of the Roman Forum. Zadar's Roman Forum often takes people by surprise. People don't know what to expect when they show up, but it's one of the highlights of their trip. That is because you can quite literally walk as the Romans once walked, free of barriers. It's possible to roam the Forum and take a few steps back in time. Constructed between the 1st century BC and the 3rd century AD, Zadar's old Roman Forum should be explored as part of a walking tour of the city. You can't miss it due to its location next to the city's fine old churches. Measuring 90 meters long by 45 meters wide, the scale of this impressive ruin in the square still impresses. During Roman times, this area was a central market and public area. Highlights include the remains of the foundation of several public buildings, paving stones, and a Corinthian column. Also of interest is the Pole of Shame, a more recent addition used from the Middle Ages to the 19th century to chain up criminals for all the townspeople to see. Try to plan your visit for nightfall when the ruins are lit up. People love Zadar because of the Church of St Chrysogonus. Built by the Benedictines, the Romanesque Church of St Christos was constructed on the site of an old Roman market in the late 12th century. The interior of the splendid three-aisled church includes a Baroque main altar dating from the early 17th century, as well as an apse containing a number of well-preserved 13th century frescoes. Check out the Romanesque crucifix. A particular note is the beautiful exterior of the apse at the back of the church with its row of arches lining the top portion. People love Zadar because of the Church of St Simeon. The 17th century Church of St Simeon is worth a visit. Here you'll find the remains of St Simeon, one of Zadar's 4 patron saints, kept in a sarcophagus designed by Francesco de Milano in the late 14th century. On the cedar coffin are gold-plated reliefs depicting the life of St Simeon and a copy of Cappella della Reina from Padua, Italy. Also take note of the church's finely decorated altar containing the Virgin and saints. The reasons provided in this video are not all the reasons why people love Zadar. If you've got a reason why you love Zadar, pop it in the comments section. I'll make another video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Ciao for now!